So we're going to do the Course in Miracles daily lesson. Welcome. Great that you join in this online class. So we will spend some time diving into lesson 41, which is the next key lesson. Looking a little bit at today's lesson. God is the mind with which I think, which you have been practicing, maybe now just starting to do that, or maybe you have been doing this all day, depending on what time zone you're living are located. Anyway, so the lesson 41, the key lesson, we connected to two chapters, chapter 11 I think and chapter 17, or 12 and 17. I wrote it down because these are perfect references to deepen our understanding of the lesson 41. And I want to start with this, and that is, let's relax, let's breathe, let's stay right here with our thoughts, with our focus, with our attention. The thoughts can go, but the attention can stay here. This is the only thing that's happening right now. There's nothing else going on. And this is your possibility to experience that. So relax. We're not going anywhere. We're basically remembering something that's already with you, in you, that just has to come up into your awareness in some way, in some miraculous way. And not even by your conscious doing. So there are some things that you can do, like I said, relax, breathe, step back, leave everything be, let everything go for a moment. Leave your concerns for what they are. Don't try to follow your thoughts. Just stay right here and stay present here. So that makes it very easy also. You don't have to remember any of what I'm saying. You don't have to use it as concepts. Now this is about your experience, and that is resonating with you. Whether you are aware of it or not, even that doesn't matter. But it would be much fun if this would come into your awareness, your connectedness with everything that is, your say, communication. See, all these lessons that we're doing now are focused on the light, on communication, on thinking with the mind of God, not your thoughts, but the real thoughts with something that has actually life in it. So you know that your thoughts that you can have are dead, because they basically circle around and not doing anything. So this is different. It's totally different with the thoughts of God. They are creation itself. They say, they represent the communication and the connectedness. They are your joy. They are love. They are, all of that, happiness. And so how are we experiencing this? Well, here I'm going to read from the review a couple of lessons, just 3 or 4, just to ask some questions and to let some things go, because that is so well done in the review. That's so helpful in the review of the first 50 lessons. So today on the website Urtext, the Course in Miracles, I posted again the 20-minute book, this little booklet with the review of the first 50 lessons. And you can read that in the morning, and then it's just about 20 minutes you can do it. You can read through it. In that moment you have let go of so much, and you have calmed down so much. You have no idea. You will feel that. You will experience that when you use it. You can also listen to it. So on the YouTube channel you can listen to the review of the first 50 lessons. Just posted that today too, just as tools, it's I love to listen to that, because it's calming my whole system, my whole neural system, my whole system. And where is that good for? Well, the calmer you become, the more open you can be. So that can go in miraculous ways, like quantum leaps you can make with it. It can go really fast, but also it can also go gradually by doing this practice, by allowing that for yourself, by giving yourself time to listen to that, and just that, not doing anything else, just letting that sink in, so to speak. You'll see that it is very comforting, and that you see that you can even do it before you go to sleep or something. It's very quieting. It really helps to sink deep into stillness, in fact. And when you start your day, it's such a good reminder. So anyway, I'm not selling them. You can download them for free. But this was my little pitch here. So three lessons I read. My holiness is my salvation, the review of them. Since my holiness saves me from all guilt, recognizing my holiness is recognizing my salvation. It is also recognizing the salvation of the world. Once I have accepted my holiness, nothing can make me afraid. Okay, so that's great. Once I have accepted my holiness, nothing can make me afraid. And because I am unafraid, everyone must share my understanding, which is the gift of God to me and to the world. See, that has incredible consequences. Like, if I accept my holiness, this is the consequence. I'm not afraid of anything. It's like, no, this is a gift. I share in my understanding. It's the gift of God to me and to the world. I actually become an instrument for peace. I am blessed as a son of God. Herein lies my claim to all good and only good. I am blessed as a son of God. All good things are mine because God intended them for me. I cannot suffer loss or deprivation or pain because of who I am. My Father supports me, protects me, and directs me in all things. All things. All things, no exceptions. My Father supports me, protects me, and directs me in all things. Okay, that should be like quite a relief for you. So you have no idea, but this is amazing what is being shared here. That's why you are so blessed. My Father supports me, protects me, and directs me in all things. His care for me is infinite and is with me forever. Well, you just let me know if you have a question about that. It's like, what could your question be? His care for me is infinite and is forever with me. I am eternally blessed as his son. God goes with me wherever I go. So this is lesson 41, our key lesson of today. But the review of it. How can I be alone when God always goes with me? How can I be doubtful and unsure of myself when perfect certainty abides in him? How can I be doubtful and unsure of myself when perfect certainty abides in him? How can I be disturbed by anything when he rests in me in absolute peace? How can I suffer when love and joy surrounds me through him? Let me not cherish illusions about myself. I am perfect because God goes with me wherever I go. See, the most amazing thing is the aliveness of what is actually being offered. It's like this is so alive that's unbelievable. It puts you right on the holy spot, so to speak. That's unbelievable. Like you have no idea how dead are the human thoughts or the thoughts that are circling in your mind continuously concerns or doubts or wonders, like what is going on, what's going to happen, and all this. Like that frequency of fear and concern is a very low frequency that feels very unnatural and makes you feel actually totally afraid of everything. And once you recognize that and it comes to your awareness that you have a choice, that you don't necessarily have to do it this way, that you not have to think those thoughts or take them seriously as part of you, then something can happen, because then that can come live into your mind, literally like complete certainty, feeling completely protected. Like if you don't follow up with that, like if you don't allow that to happen to yourself, no wonder that you think that something might happen, that something terrible might happen, or like you feel uneasy about some situation that's circling your mind, or all of that. It's like, yeah, you have to let that go. In order for you to experience what life and happiness is, and communication. So in lesson 41 we dive deeper into that. So I'm probably gonna read like 5 of the paragraphs, and these are also essential in deepening our experience, or deepening our in fact our vulnerability. We start to become vulnerable. We start to step back out of the defenses that we were holding up for ourselves against who knows what. So if God goes with you wherever you go, you are allowed to let your defenses go. That sounds reasonable, right? It is. Yeah, that's no magic at all. It's like, no, there is something I can rely on. But if I don't do that, I will not see it. So I will have to do that in order to see it, and to allow that to be my reality. And so there are some lines that I will repeat and bring back into our, in our moment here together. Just because of the infinite certainty that they bring, and the possibility to rely on it completely. It is just that you forgot that you had a choice in the matter, that you could actually choose for this. Okay, so lesson 41, God goes with me wherever I go. We did this a couple of days ago as a daily practice, but now we're taking another look at it, just to not miss anything from this. God goes with me wherever I go. So today's idea will eventually overcome completely the sense of loneliness and abandonment which all the separated ones experience. Depression is an inevitable consequence of separation. So are anxiety, worry, a deep sense of helplessness, misery, suffering, and intense fear of loss. God goes with me wherever I go. So this will eventually overcome all ideas of loneliness, the complete sense of loneliness and abandonment. So now here we come to something that is really fundamental in the human way of thinking, like abandonment issues or abandonment situations, feelings that you can have are so, deeply ingrained into your genetics, so to speak. We have been, for generations, we have been feeling ourselves abandoned or deprived of something, or stimulated to go for survival, trying to survive in this chaos that we find ourselves in. So we're talking here about some really deep healing that can occur by applying this lesson and by allowing a new idea to come to us. So this idea that you're not alone is pretty amazing. But it's also, say, it comes with the idea that there is no private you at the same time. You know, it's like, no, this is interconnected. You're completely connected to every aspect of creation. And that means that all the things that you think are separate, like that you can hold as a private idea for yourself, that just does not exist either. You know, that just is not that way. So in other words, to be free of that in your imagination, there's a real healing possibility to expose what you are thinking, to expose why you stand for, where you focus your mind on, how that is all like spread out in your daily experience of yourself. So that is so beautiful, because like the main goal of this course is peace of mind. So if you think you can hold something separate from everything that is, then you will not experience peace of mind. But you try to keep that for yourself, and you're busy with it. You're busy doing so. So that's not necessary, and it's also it is just not what it is. And it seems like you can hold that up for a moment, but then eventually it will just, disappear into the openness, or it will just be exposed. And I speak from deep experience in this. Like, I try to hide things too, absolutely. And then every time you do it, it was like you are keeping yourself very busy with it, and you become afraid for no reason, and you feel like, oh, how am I supposed to do this? Because I'm afraid that I might lose something, So to keep it completely open and exposed, to be, say, transparent in all of that, is then the next step that you will learn. Just in order for you to have the possibility of peace of mind, how else are you going to do that? How else is that possible for you? Like there are no separate thoughts. You cannot think something without it having an effect. And so this is just the first paragraph in which something becomes really clear. It's like, in the end, you will see that God goes with you wherever you go. It is just, say, you have to allow God into every situation. You have to allow Spirit into every situation. Like, you have to, change your mind about yourself in thinking that you're a separate identity. And that is deeper ingrained than you think. Well, or maybe you think already that it's pretty deeply ingrained and you don't know how to get out of it. That's very well possible too. So either way, you need help. And that is given. So that's why we practice. So this is not about perfect spiritual behavior. This course is not made for that. No, it's just recognizing what is true, and also how am I fooling myself, and how am I trying to hold on to something that has no reality and just causes a lot of fear in me. Okay, so I'm curious where that's going to go, because this is only the first paragraph. Okay, so the separated ones have invented many cures for what they believe to be the ills of the world. Well, yeah, we have seen some of that in the last couple of years too, yeah. Many cures for what they believe to be the ills of the world. But one thing they do not question is the question of the reality of the problem. Is the problem real? You can come up with solutions, but is the problem real? Yet its effects cannot be cured because it is not real. The idea for today has the power to end all this foolishness forever. And foolishness it is, despite the serious and tragic forms it may take. Wow. So that's very timely and to the spot right here. It's pretty amazing. So the separated ones have invented many cures for what they believe to be the ills of the world. Well, we have seen a lot of that. That's pretty amazing. And we have tried some of that too. And we thought it would help. And we see like, no, it does not. It does not help. Well, you get vaccinated, you get not vaccinated. Either way, it doesn't seem to make any difference. So what is the reality about this all is that we keep ourselves busy with something that is actually not even there. We see something that is not there. We base something on an idea of fear, and while it's not there. So fear creates situations that are not real, and that becomes so obvious when you see it like this. Like, oh my God, in the end we come to see like, what was this? It was just a nightmare of fear. So that was what it was. Luckily it's over or something. You know, that will come into your awareness. Like it will come that you see, oh my God, actually, whatever that was, it was a nightmare of our own making. And we did a great job in believing in it. See, all these things have to do with how you see, where you follow up on, where you think that fear is appropriate as a response to a situation. When you feel that something outside of you can tell you who you are, and you follow up on that, making that real for yourself and starting to believe in it yourself and losing yourself into the whole story. Like that's the main line in all of this. Pretty amazing. So foolishness it is. Okay. The third paragraph. Deep within you is everything that is perfect, ready to radiate through you and out into the whole world. It will cure all sorrow and pain, and fear and loss, because it will heal the mind that thought these things were real and suffered out of its allegiance to these beliefs. So that is so lovely. So deep within you is the perfect remembrance of that. And more you start to see that because you're applying these lessons. You're actually starting to do them. You apply these lessons and you start to see through things. You literally start to see that there is no exception to the love of God. But it will take a moment before you see it. So don't let yourself be misguided by your appearance, by the appearances. So this goes just beyond that. And then you see like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I really thought there wasn't say an exception to the love of God, while clearly can see that it's not true at all. See, I'm sharing this in a certain way. So it's like, is it that easy to see it like that? It's like, well, you start to practice this. You start to remember this for yourself. You start to apply it. And you say you trust that this is true, what's being shared. You trust that first. You start to accept it step by step. More and more you see it at work, and your certainty in it starts to grow. And that takes a moment, and that's perfectly all right. In the meantime, it is still what is real about you. It's still the truth of who you are. So that's why it will never prove that it's wrong. You know, you can still believe your own ideas, that's fine, but you cannot prove that this is wrong. You can if you want to, but it's like, no, this is continuously given. You can always rely on it. You can always starting to remember this again, and it will still be true because it is true. It doesn't change. I think that's really, really lovely in practicing this. Here it is, yeah. You can never be deprived of your perfect holiness because its source goes with you wherever you go. You can never suffer because the source of all joy goes with you wherever you go. You can never be alone because the source of all life goes with you wherever you go. Nothing can destroy your peace of mind because God goes with you wherever you go. We understand here. We understand that you do not believe all this. How could you, when the truth is hidden deep within, under a heavy cloud of insane thoughts, dense and obscuring, yet representing all you see? Like, how could you believe this? If this is happening in your mind, like these dense thoughts, like insane thoughts, dense and obscuring, and representing everything that you see proof of it, like you see the proof of the reality of what you're thinking. You take your perception as a law, and you believe in it as being your world. So today we will take our first attempt to get past this dark and heavy cloud and to go through it to the light beyond. So this is why this is the key lesson. It's like, okay, here's something that's really happening. It's different. We're going to go past these dense and obscuring clouds, so to speak, into the light that's beyond. And think of light as formless, and they give a description of that and all that. So that can be helpful, you know. And I translated in the beginning of this class, I translated your thoughts compared to the thoughts of God as dead thoughts and thoughts with life in them. And that is an experience that's lively. That's, you know, it's like it's vibrating, it's doing something, it's a whole different frequency altogether. That's how you know that the light has come. You know, that's how you know. Oh, let someone in. That's how you know that the light has come, and that you can sink deeply into that because it's part of you. You know, that is a given. That's given to you. So we keep this here for what it is, and we skip to say chapter 12F. From the Urtext at least, and we come back to the idea of light later on. See, and I'm using these words here just to put it in a different context, if you will. So I'm using 12F8, and this is from the chapter, The Problem of Guilt. Now is the time for salvation, for now is the release from time. Reach out to all your brothers and touch them with the touch of Christ. In timeless union with them is your continuity. Unbroken, it is wholly shared. God's guiltless Son is only light. There is no darkness in him anywhere, for he is whole. Call all your brothers to witness to his holiness, his wholeness, and as I am calling you to join with me. Every voice has a part in the song of redemption, the hymn of gladness and thanksgiving for the light, to the Creator of light. The holy light that shines forth from God's Son is the witness that his light is of his Father. So here we have it. It's like, here's the idea of light again. Liveliness of life, light, joy, happiness. Here it is again. It's like, no, nothing has happened. You forgot it, okay, but nothing has happened. Like, you're not sinful, you're not this and that. No, any description that you hold about yourself, you can put aside. It's no longer for you anymore. So this is like the purity of you is untouched and is present with you, and that is your gift. And that is what you want to bring into this world. So, and that is a practice too. So it's like you can slide off into ideas about thinking that something goes wrong, or that you did something wrong, or this or that. Like, no, this all that is happening has to do with the possibility to heal, to see this in a different light, and allow this to be, to change, and to make it sure for you that you see the reality behind all of this, and recognize that in yourself. So that is here in this chapter is like amazing. So see, the thing is, like, how do you think about yourself is the first question. It's like, what is it exactly that you think about yourself? Are you aware of how you think about yourself, what your ideas are? And are you willing to let those go when you have recognized that you are thinking them? Because they will not represent the reality or the truth of who you are. They will just stand in the way for you to experience that. And so this is a course in miracles. It's like, it's a miraculous course. It helps you to speed up the awakening to the reality of who you are. Like, one of the obstacles is the way that you think about yourself, the way that you see yourself as a body, as a separate entity, identity here on this planet, with other bodies that live in a place where you, say, survive, where you might be abandoned, where this is happening, where love does not really exist because it's not very reliable, and all of that. Like that, we know this very well. But these are all ideas that we take with us up to the moment that we let them go and have them be replaced for the true experience of ourselves. So here's another one I would love to share about, say this F10. Children of light, you know not that the light is in you, and you will find it through its witnesses. For having given light to them, they will return it. Everyone you see in light brings your light closer to your own awareness. Love always leads to love. The sick who ask for love are grateful for it, and in their joy they shine with holy thanks. And this they offer you, who gave them joy. They are your guides to joy, for having received it of you, they would keep it. You have established them as guides to peace, for you have made it manifest in them, and seeing it, its beauty calls you home. So this is beautiful. So everyone you see in light brings your light closer to your own awareness. So that means, like, there's a real focus here on what you see and the way that you see it. Sorry, I'm bumping against my microphone. So it's like, it is like, how am I looking at you? How am I perceiving you? Am I recognizing the light that you are, or do I think that you're something else, like a description or a judgment? So that's why looking beyond the appearances becomes very helpful, and waiting long enough, being patient, and not stepping into a judging mode, but becoming open to receive what's been given, and recognizing, opening ourselves up for joining, for not fighting each other, but no, for joining, for seeing everyone for who they are. And this is a practice that you take with you during your day, and there's always like a good start to make, because you will start over again. Oh, I had a judgment about this person. Wait a minute, let's take another look. Who knows what I'm going to see? I might be able to see the light. If I see the light in my brother, I start to recognize it in myself too. it comes into my awareness because I'm actually focusing on it. I'm actually opening up for it myself. So see here, this is continuously the case, and there's always a new beginning here. You can always start over. Oh, I missed that. Oh, try again. Oh, try again. You know, it's like just like we do the lessons. You remember the lesson. Suddenly it's like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, what was the lesson of today? Oh, I totally forgot. Let's check my book. Okay. God goes with me wherever I go. Oh yeah, that is so comforting. I forgot. So how on earth can you forget that God goes with you? It can happen. In our practice, it can happen. Even that can happen. It's amazing. You forgot your source. Like luckily you take it with you wherever you go, and you cannot lose it, but you can forget it. That's the only thing. So the great thing then about forgetting is the possibility of remembering. And that's what these lessons are for, and that's what this class is for. That's why we practice. And you get to laugh about yourself too. It's like, it's amazing how forgetful we are. I was so distracted. I speak for myself, of course. Like so distracted by anything. It's unbelievable. So everything seems to be more interesting than remembering your source. Isn't that amazing? That's total insanity, isn't it? At least that's how I see it. Okay, so chapter... Let me see. Oh, see, time goes so quickly. 24H. The meeting place. Oh yeah, this is fun. I put this in for fun, sort of. So this makes it all relative. So chapter 24H8 is then: this course makes no attempt to teach what cannot easily be learned. It makes no attempt to teach what cannot easily be learned. In other words, this is not hard. No, this is made for you to learn. So the easiest way out of this is saying like, well, it's too hard, it's too difficult for me. Well, here it says, no, it is not. It is not too hard for you to learn. You're able to do this. Like I can tell you from my experience, if I'm able to do it, you must definitely be able to do it. Because, yeah, for certain reasons, you know, I can do it, you can do it. Absolutely. Its scope does not exceed your own, except to say that what is yours will come to you when you are ready. That is also good to know. So to say that what is yours will come to you when you are ready. Here are the means and the purpose separate, because they were so made and so perceived, and therefore do we deal with them as if they were. It is essential it be kept in mind that all perception still is upside down, until its purpose has been understood. Perception does not seem to be a means, and it is this that makes it hard to grasp the whole extent to which it must depend on what you use it for. Perception seems to teach you what you see. Perception seems to teach you what you see, yet it is but a witness to what you taught. So it's like the upside downness of perception is then this: there is nothing outside of you determining what you see or what is being presented. It does not have a life of its own. In other words, that means you literally make up the images that you see. And that is so good to realize, because that makes you the source of what you see. And that means also that if you change your mind about what you want to see, it will change accordingly, like what you see will change as well. If you align yourself with the real thoughts that are given you by God in this practice, that is what you're going to see. So this is your doorway to vision, to seeing it in a whole different way. But you have to practice this. It will come to you exactly in the right time. You will start to consider this. You will start to repeat this to yourself. Suddenly you start to see it, that it is so. There is nothing outside of you that is determining anything about you, no matter what you think about it. So that's really great. So that's what I wanted to give to. It's like, okay, so this is doable. You can learn this. It is doable. It will come in the right time to you. And there's nothing outside of you determining anything for you. So all these things are essential to come to the place of experiencing peace of mind, to come into an experience of light, to come into the fullness of who you are, like as an experience in your awareness. And this goes step by step, day by day, moment by moment. And this is what we practice. So thank you for joining me in this. I'm really happy that you do this. And hope to see you soon. Thank you.